Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided to give you guys a basically huge update on what I've been reading. I was going to do an October wrap up, but then decided that since school started I can't really read that much and that it would be fun to catch up on the last few months. So the last wrap up I did was in July. So I'm going to do August, September, and October. We'll see how this goes. There are a lot of books, wrong way, which I feel like isn't that much, but also like is that much. So, not the right way. There we go. I'm also recovering from COVID, so please excuse how I sound and the constant coughing. I'll be coughing. Okay, starting from, this would be August. This might have actually been in my wrap-up in August because I started it in August and then finished it. Wait, no, I started it in late July and then I finished it early August. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This book was everywhere and I felt left out because everyone loves Lucy Score and everyone was obsessing over this book, and then my friend texted me saying that I had to read this because she read the second one and rated both of them 5 stars. So thank you, Madeline, for forcing me to read this because I don't regret it. This was like one of the best books I've ever read. Honestly, not what I was expecting because I think Madeline actually gave me like a little preview like when she started it and I was so confused. I don't know, just the plot is like, I feel like it could have gone 2 ways and it went the best way possible. The main character, Naomi Witt, oh my gosh, this is so painful. Oh my goodness. The main character, Naomi Witt, ditched her own wedding because she didn't like the guy and drove down to knock him out, where she later finds out that her twin sister, her identical twin sister, had been there and everyone hates her, which really isn't a surprise because no one really likes her identical twin sisters. She then has to deal with her twin sister Tina's mess and her niece, Naomi's niece, and she's basically raising her now. It's a wild ride between Knox and Naomi, because Knox is like that kind of bordered off, like he doesn't want to start anything, he's broody. I love it. I think I rated this a 4.5 because I loved the characters, I loved the writing, the smut on top, but Knox got on my nerves at the end. He just kind of like, I don't know, the character just got weird, the stereotypical man, but other than that, this book was great and I'm trying to finish the series because I love Lucy Score's writing. Okay, after Things We Never Got Over, I read Beach Read, which was going to the beach. That's my life. This was my second book by Emily Henry, which I read Book Lovers by her. I was a huge fan of that and I was super excited because everyone loves Beach Read and I kept hearing really good things about it, so I got super excited and this book did not let me down at all. The main character, January, finds out after her dad's death that he was having an affair and basically has to go down to his affair house and sell it. So she's living in the affair house on the beach and she has a cutie patootie neighbor. Long story short, they became friends, kind of, one could say. Gus is basically talking about how easy it is to write a romance and like that it's not that big of a deal because it's just something that's so easy to write. So then they challenge each other to swap genres and write a book in that genre. So you're following the writer's writing, I guess you could say. Romance between the two. I love Emily Henry's writing because the men make me question whether I'm gay or not. That's what it comes down to. I loved every second of this book. It did put me in a slump afterwards because it was so good. I feel like I can't really talk about Emily Henry without making it seem bad, but I mean it in the best way. This book was amazing. It had me sobbing at the end. I definitely recommend any book by Emily Henry. They're all amazing. The book I read after that was Red, White, and Royal Blue. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Casey McQuiston's writing. I don't like that it's in third person. It also can seem a little dry, and I always just feel so distant. But the movie was coming out. The movie sucks, by the way, don't watch it. So I wanted to read the book before I watched the movie. And excuse me. This was a thick book. I can't remember what I rated it. In my Goodreads review, I did 3.5 or 4 stars. I honestly can't really remember this book that much. I wasn't very excited to read it. I wasn't very excited reading it. But I do think it was a cute romance. I just feel like it kind of dragged on for a long time and it got so boring. The son of the not the son of the United States, the son of the President of the United States, Alex and Prince Henry hate each other. And so they get into like a little splat. I really just said splat instead of spat. Is spat the right word though? Okay, well, basically they had a fight. And so they have to make up for it for everyone else's sake. And they have to basically fake a friendship. They have to hang out a lot because for like the public eye. And they both absolutely hate each other and they're just trying to push through. But as all romances go, they catch feelings for each other in that fake friendship. And you get the little view of what happens when you're the president's son and the prince and you guys like each other. And you're gay. It was cute though. Wasn't my favorite book. I feel like the reviews for the books that I didn't really enjoy are so bland compared to the books that I love. The next book was flawless. I'm still so upset that I didn't get the mirror covers because those ones are so pretty. Oh, they're so pretty. This one's another small town romance. This one's so much to unpack. The main character, Rhett, is a bull rider and his reputation is awful after he basically defends himself and somehow punches a dude in the face. So he is assigned a babysitter, as he calls it, and her name is, it's coming to me, Summer. So Summer's basically, what is it called? Basically, Summer is just supervising him to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid and to help his reputation. Summer's dad, who Rhett works for, or it's the other way around, is basically lecturing him saying, you do anything to my daughter, I will kill you. And so he's like, okay, fine, I hate your daughter anyways, but there's not really much hate. So they're basically, I don't even know what started their relationship. Oh, this is the only one bed trope. I forgot about that, dude. Okay, well, there's only one bed. This one was good. I hated Rhett. I liked the story, but then Rhett was just a jerk. It's like the Knox thing. Like, I loved the book so much, and then the dude's just a jerk. I rated this one a 3.5 because Rhett was just a little man-like at the end. I also didn't like the ending. I don't know if that was the epilogue. It could have been so... There's a bonus scene? But I am excited to read the rest of the series because, The next book is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. The main characters, Alex and Poppy, were best friends and pretty much the opposite because Alex was like that shut-off, shy person and Poppy was just that outgoing, let's do things type of person. They were doing really well. Let's stop them from talking. I'm gonna look something up real quick because I don't remember like what happened in that book. Oh, okay. Until they had a falling out 2 years ago. So we're following Poppy trying to make amends with Alex. I thought this would be a really boring start, just like going from, I thought it'd start off at the fallout, but you got their friendship before and then the present day. I don't know how to explain what my worry was. Again, Emily Henry did it again. I love this book. And it was like good and I wanted to read, but I was kind of in a slump because Emily Henry's writing it's so deep is what it is. And it just takes a lot of you really have to convince yourself to read and it's more of a slow read for me. But I enjoyed this book so much. The characters were amazing. Alex was amazing. We really got to see their friendship go back together and them figuring out their miscommunication and them communicating, which is awesome because in all of Emily Henry's books, there's so much communication. It's amazing to see that between the characters. The banter was amazing. I loved everything about them. And I feel like there was a tad more smut in here. She doesn't really write smut. much. But like this one was a little more impressive. You're welcome for that information, by the way. I did rate that one a 4.5. I think I was probably a little slumpy and it didn't really help get out of that slump. The next book is The Brothers Hawthorne, which is the fourth book in the Inheritance Game series, following Avery Graham's basically just inheriting a bunch of money from a stranger. She moves into the house with the 4 grandsons that didn't really inherit much, and they're trying to figure out the riddles that the grandfather left the grandsons and Avery to try to figure out why she was left with the money. And the series was amazing. The first 3 books were amazing. This one was following Grayson and Jameson. This one was just pretty boring compared to the rest. Because I feel like being a mystery thriller, it should just like kind of thrill you, but it's just so boring. And it's dual POV, so like normally there's that one person that you like, you love the point of view, and then you get to the next chapter and it's the boring person. But it's both very boring. This one took me forever to finish. I can't really say much about this book because it would spoil a lot, but I can't wait for the 5th book to come out. This one took me 20 days to finish. I can finish a book in probably 4 days, depending on who it's by, but this took me nearly a month. I rated this a 3.5 just because it was boring. It was not what I was expecting, and I think it did let down a lot of other people too, so I'm not alone. But I do recommend the series. The series is so great. The next book I read, which really got me out of my reading slump, is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Everyone was talking about this book and I felt so left out, and I'm so glad I finally got to it. I was really pushing this book off just because it kind of intimidated me, and I feel like there's nothing to be intimidated by. You're following Anastasia, who is a figure skater and is like working her way up to competition. What is it? Oh, Team USA. Sure. Until the hockey players' rink is absolutely trashed, so now the figure skaters and the hockey players have to share a rink. And so they both are at a party and things happen, but they still like hate okay, well, I don't think Nate really had much hate. Anastasia hated Nate, and this book did not disappoint me at all. I think I rated it a 4.5. I don't remember why. The smut in this is absolutely crazy. Don't let the cover deceive you, because the cover is so cute. I think the first smut scene was like 50 pages in, and that is the first of many. I loved this book so much. I loved the characters, I loved the story, I loved everything about it, and you really got to see like the struggles of being a figure skater. The ending was so good and so random, and I loved it. And I'm so disappointed that this was only, I think this was the first book by Hannah Grace, which is impressive because I feel like the first books are just kind of iffy. I love this book and I can't wait for the 3rd book to come out. I do not have the 2nd book I read in October. No, that was September and October. I then read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I checked out at my library. I was about to just like return the book because it was so intimidating, but I love Sarah J. Maas's writing. You're following Farah and her basically just taking care of her family because they're super poor, it's the dead of winter, and her 2 sisters and her dad don't chip in taking care of themselves. So she has to go hunt, and she hasn't had much luck hunting because it's the dead of winter, but she finds a deer and a wolf. So she gets them both, and later finds out that that wolf was not a wolf and is a fairy, and a giant beast breaks into their cottage and is demanding retribution. So basically she has to die, or she can go live with the fairies for the rest of her life. So she goes and lives in Prithian, I think. I'm probably saying that wrong, I can't remember what it's called. She's living with a bunch of fairies, and Tamlin, the fairy that took her there, has a big fat crush, basically. And she's learning that he's amazing, and he's hot, and he's amazing, and that he's not what he seems, like a beast that kills. She's finding out that all the myths were myths and not truths, and she's making dumb decisions. The romance is crazy, the ending was crazy, Wow, that book broke me. I sobbed at the ending. The ending was ruthless and amazing, and I still think about it and almost cry. I don't know if I'm going to finish the series though, because I have come to my speculation. That's not a word. Speculation? I should probably stop using words I don't know what they mean. Anyways, I have like a theory of how the rest of the series goes and who the love interest is and what happens to the other love interest, and I don't... Like, the ending of the book wrapped off perfectly, so I don't have to finish the series, but everyone else loves the series. But I'm so sensitive and I can't take it if it's going to be sad. I rated it at 4.5 stars because of the ending, because it wrapped off so seamlessly. It was kind of weird. It was like, ooh, here's the book, it's fantasy, it's blah, 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 blah. It was strange, but it was really good. It was great. And I don't really like fantasy, so that says a lot. The next book I read was Wildfire. Why is my hair like that? By Hannah Grace, which is the second book to Icebreaker. I rushed through Agatar so I could read this book because I was so excited. It's like an interconnected series. This one is following Aurora and Russ. Aurora and Russ hook up at a party, and then Russ goes to the bathroom for a suspiciously long time, and Aurora kind of takes that as her cue to leave. So she leaves, no nothing, she doesn't see Russ again until they're at the summer camp that they're working at for, I think, roughly 2 or 3 months. There's like a no staff romance thing, basically. So there's a bunch of tension and a bunch of rule breaking, and the smut in this is also amazing. It was so good. I think I rated this 5 stars. Again, I cannot wait for the 3rd book. I love Hannah Grace's writing. She has never let me down within the 2 books I read. Okay, the next book was Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the second book to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Well, I guess a sequel. If you haven't read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, it's amazing. Read it. She's basically given up her detectiveness activities after the first case she solved. Wow. Until one of her acquaintances' brothers goes missing on a strange date. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything from the first book if, like, you don't want to know anything. So she's basically pushed back into the detective situation and is unraveling what happened to him. It's crazy. This book took me a little longer to finish because it was so creepy I couldn't read it, and I always like read at night, but I couldn't because it's creepy. The ending was so unhinged. I can't believe it's a young adult, but it was so good. I recommend it. It was amazing. I cried my heart out, and I'm not the same person. This is like the Inheritance games, but murder mystery. I love the series, and I can't wait to go into the 3rd book. And I rated this one a 4 stars. Okay, the next book is Loath to Love You. I actually haven't finished this book since it's her 3 novels. I meant her 3 novellas, but I did read Stuck With You, and I feel like that counts. I guess I'll just talk about Stuck With You because that's the only one I read this month. Oh, oops. I'm so bad at names. The main character, Sadie, gets stuck in an elevator with her enemy, Eric, and I mean, what can you do when you're in an elevator during a power outage? Not what I thought you would do. It was kind of disappointing. Anyways, all 3 novellas go from present to past, or past to present. So you kind of get like, they're so mad at, okay, well, Sadie's mad at Eric the whole time, and Eric has no idea. What happened? I'm so good at this. So, in the past, they went out on a date and got a little close with each other at the end, and basically had another huge miscommunication, and this one's so hard to explain. And in the present time, they get stuck in an elevator, and Sadie's still hung up on what happened, Eric's still hung up on what happened, but in 2 different ways, and so they both think they know why they had to fall out, but they're both thinking of 2 different things. It was great. I like Allie Hazelwood's novels better because she can just add so much depth to them, and the novellas seem a little short. I mean, like, no duh, but character-wise. I think I rated that one a 3.5. I got so nitpicky with my ratings. I love the banter, the communication, the fun. Allie Hazelwood. I really like anything by Allie Hazelwood, so that's not really a surprise. But I'm reading Below Zero right now, so that's my past few months wrap up. 8, 9, 10. Only? Those are the 10 books I have lately read, which is kind of sad because I feel like during the summer I could read so much more. I think September really hit me hard with that reading slump and only reading one book. I just thought it would be fun to show you guys what I've been reading and to kind of catch up with you guys. These are always fun to do. I say always as in the one time I did it, and because it's an excuse to talk about books. I feel like I actually know what happened. Okay, I said that and I had to like look up the plot of most of the books, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.